I want to briefly talk about something. Uh, so I was speaking to a lady today, and she was coming from a movie, and I saw her movie ticket, and it kind of reminds me of everything I've been going through, and it's like maybe I had to go through it a little early before it was too late to really get what's going to happen, what's already happening, really. And I've seen this. I actually saw this ahead of time since the whole public release release of COVID. I think COVID has been going around, but publicly they finally announced it in 2020 of this particular timeline, of that particular timeline. Okay, I say that particular timeline. So the lady saw a movie called Evil Dead Rising. Evil Dead Rising. I don't know if people really get that movies, it's just not for them to, it's not just for them to say, oh, it's a good movie. A lot of times, movies like that, those kind of movies, especially when they big budget and when they made like that, most of the time they are created by, it's the same like with the music industry. You might have independent artists or stuff like that do create their own music with their own creativity and with their own mind. And then you have the big artists where they're not really allowed to use their own creativity. They have to do what the music execs want them to do. And what the music execs want them to do is to cause the audience to go in a direction where their consciousness, go to lower realms, okay? And I don't know why people think that a lot of these entities from lower realms, they're not stupid, they're very smart. Clive Davis, Tony Mottola, whatever, the people that run music, a lot of these people, they might be evil, but see how intelligent they are. See, they have no heart. They have no heart, but they're extremely smart, but they have no heart. Okay, they come from those lower dimensions like that. Well, I'm not gonna say lower, but they come from them, because in 5D they're evil. It's all these higher dimensions. I can't say they're nicer. Okay, but what I'm saying is we're certainly not in the reality of what you would call unconditional love or whatever. But So that's what I'm saying about this movie called The Evil Dead. Most likely it was a big budget film. I don't know. I'm not like keeping up with things that's going on, but most likely it was a big budget film. And those kind of big budget film are produced, directed, written by occultists that might get instructions from high up. Okay, and what I'm saying is. What I'm saying is that's not just a movie. That's telling you what's happening to humanity. It's telling you what's happening to humanity. And it's not just you're going to see a bunch of demons around and all this. No. The Evil Dead Rising is going to rise up and like people. That's why, ever since the lockdown happened in 2020, you've been hearing people say everywhere you go, a lot of people said that people are getting meaner and meaner. People are getting more evil. People are just getting more evil. You see that? That's what that movie is about right there. I remember seeing like a vision of people's shadows. I didn't see the people anymore. I just saw their shadows. I saw where people's shadows was going to take over them and actually get rid of the actual person. And it was just going to be the shadow. Okay, it was just going to be the shadow. And the shadow can be... Here's the thing about the shadow. Shadow is not always a bad thing. It depends. Because you can have a lot of good things in your shadow too. But for the most part, a lot of people got a lot of hidden stuff in their shadow. That's why I don't like the idea of just let it go. Well, it's just going to still be stored in your shadow, and now people's shadows are about to take over them and actually kill the person, and the shadow is going to take completely over. Okay? The shadow's going to be completely taken over. Here's what I'm going to say. Whatever was stored in you, whatever you would call your ego, whatever the ego was programmed to do, or whatever was in your shadow, it's like it's going to be doubled. It's like it's going to be super. It's going to be super. It's going to be doubled what it was. Okay? And, you know, that's going to be the evil dead rising. The actual person is going to be killed. The actual person, whatever part of a human that was left of that person is going to be killed. And the shadow will take completely over. I just thought about somebody that actually, I think, happened to. Anyway, and that's what I want to say about some of these. Well, I want to say about some of these celebrities, when they sell their souls, they sell their likeness. What it is I don't know what it is for them. I know for people, their shadows going to completely take over. Whatever human is killed, whatever part of a human is killed, it's going to kill them. And the shadow will completely take over. They will no longer be a person. They will completely be a low-level entity. It might be smart, but they'll be evil as hell. They'll be evil as hell. That has been my experience this past year and a half. I didn't know what it was, but it seems like I was allowed to go through that ahead of time before it was too late. Because it's going to come a time where it's going to be too late to do anything about it, and you're going to want to die. It's going to be bad. It depends on what's up in the shadow. It's going to be bad because the shadow is going to... It needs to be a lot of shadow work done. If something has to be done to get up out that space, get up out that energy, do as much work as you can, because it's going to be a time when the shadow, and some people's shadows are trying to already take over them, already completely kill them off. That's why feel like they got people coming up against them, and all this stuff going on, and other stuff that they might have dealt with in the past seem like it don't freaking stop. The shadow wants to kill them off. The shadow wants to just completely kill off whatever part of a human is left. That's the evil dead rising, because the actual person is going to be dead. There's not going to be any type of humanity, anything, any part of you that will connect to anything organic. It will be completely gone, and it's going to come a time where it's going to be you won't be able to reconnect. Okay, I say completely kill the fucking ego. That's the ego. Okay. So anyway, I don't like the ego, and that's why I don't like. That's why I say humanity is a problem. Humanity in this particular type of world is a problem. They don't need to be alive. They don't. I don't mean that to be mean. I'm not going to do anything to them. I'm just saying their shadow is going to completely take over, because you see where humanity is right now. You see what they're doing right now. They go along with whatever. You got a few people that try to tell the truth, try to tell things for what it is, but they go along with whatever. You see this right now. We saw this with COVID. We just see how they go along when you try to tell them it's like, whatever. We see this right now. You see where people don't want to, whatever the truth is, when you see one or two people try to stand for the truth or whatever, you see how the group or the masses, they really just want to go with whatever's comfortable or whatever. They don't want to. You see that level of thinking right now. So humanity is only going to go down from there. In this type of, I'm gonna say that type of world, humanity is only going down from there. They're only going down because you see how they are now. You see how they are every time around election time. You see how they get every single time. It's like they don't learn. They don't learn. Like, what have you not learned? Why do you react the same way every single time? And I don't know how they reacted this year, because I haven't been watching anything, honestly. So I don't know, but I just know that they have, based on a few people I've talked to, that have complained about folks in Democrats and Republicans are like, oh, it's that time again? Oh, okay, because I haven't been watching nothing, so I didn't realize it. Okay? And so the people just still act the same way. They never change. That lets you know that they're only going down. They're going to go down, and they're going to be like 10 times, 20 times, 100 times worse than whatever they were, because their shadows is going to completely kill them off. whatever humanity or part of them is left, humanity is going to be killed anyway by the shadow. They might look like people, but they ain't going to be people no more. Okay? They're going to be completely gone. So anyway, I just felt like saying that I have not seen the preview for Evil Dead Rising. I haven't seen the preview for it. When I saw that name, I knew exactly. I got a feeling of exactly what it was talking about, because I have a personal experience. So I guess I have been able to go through this experience ahead of time to work on not getting stuck. Okay. You got to ask yourself, do you really need a shadow? Okay. But anyway, there's shadow working. Do you really need the shadow? Well, but anyway, that's just a question. That's not me saying what it is, whatever the truth is. That's a question. Do you even need it? Okay. Okay. So anyway, that'll be it. And I'll talk later.